Want to pass your real estate exam for national and state? Well, actually, Texas state. Hey, we'll stay on here because I'm going to go over national questions and starting a new book for Texas state questions. So this applies to all 50 states, anyone in the U.S. National questions are the same for all 50 states. So I'm going to ask you to participate by typing in the question number and the answer when I go over a question and I ask you to type in. So participate and let me help you get ready for that exam. All right, so let's get going. So you're going to see we're continuing still on the Texas Real Estate Sales Exam book. Okay, however, okay, it has a national section and a Texas state section. All right, so we're going to be doing national questions, about 15 of them, and the answers I'll be reviewing with you. And it's awesome because it has 4 exams, 1, 2, 3, 4. It's an old book. However, it is awesome. Old questions will help you with today's exam because sometimes they use identical questions from old books. So find old books on the internet instead of paying for them. However, I did buy a new book today for the Texas state questions because we ran out of questions. All right, so we're continuing with question number 76, okay, because I believe we finished on number 75 on Saturday. Yes, we did. All right, so here we go. Linda Robinson's offers to buy David Henley's house has been accepted, but the actual sale will not take place for 3 months. Until then, their written sales contract is considered what? A, executory, B, pending, C, conditional, or D, voidable. Type your answer in the chat and we'll be back. Oops, that's the next book. Sorry, that's not what I meant to do. So think about it. Type your answer in the chat. And I'll let you know what the answer is shortly. And hi, Rachel. So Rachel says 76A, and thank you for typing the question number and the letter. And so this is being streamed to YouTube AgentPrep, to my private group, Facebook AgentPrep, and to our business page, Facebook AgentPrep. And it is recorded. So if for some reason you have to leave early, you can come back and listen to the recording, do the replay. Okay, so no one else is answering. So yes, the answer is A. An executory contract has not yet been performed. After the sale, the contract will be called executed. So yes, it is pending on the MLS. Hi, Facebook user. Say, why can't we see you on YouTube? Well, yes, you can. I'm also on YouTube right now. So you have to refresh your screen, unless I did something wrong. Okay, let me look really quick on my phone. So what you have to do is refresh the screen, and you're going to see it under the live section on YouTube. And it is on there. It is live. Okay, this is session number 10. Okay, so hopefully you can see it on YouTube. And yes, you can. Go to YouTube AgentPrep, and you'll be able to see it, that it is currently, you'll see a little live on it. Okay, I need to go back on mine so that I can help you with that. You can't hear me. All right, so let me check the speaker. Oh, it's probably because it's on another speaker. Hold on. Okay, so let me know if you can hear me now. Okay, can anybody hear me? Can't hear, can't hear. Okay. Let me see what the heck is going on. Since anytime using the device. App using your microphone, Google Chrome. Yes, you can hear me. Okay, Rachel can hear me. Noemi can hear me. So the audio is working. So not sure. So whoever can't hear me. Hello. Hi, Sonia. So awesome that you all are here. I've been on a training for 3 days on Grow with Video Live. That was in Las Vegas. And so I had to cut it short to be here today. Okay. So anyway, it's going to end at 8 or 9 o'clock. So I may go through the class really quick so that I can continue on and provide better videos for you and in other channels. So anyway, number 76 was A, right? So when the contract is pending, it's going to close 3 months later. It's called executory, and that is pending on the MLS, multiple listing service. Once it closes, then it's called executed. Okay. Okay, so for the person that was on YouTube, I'm sorry, on Facebook, trying to get onto YouTube, are you able to get on? Okay, because it is showing live. And it's actually session number 19. And you may hear my speaker because I'm troubleshooting for you while I do this. Okay, while I do the class to make sure that it is on. And it is. Okay. So number 77. In May, the clients accepted an offer to sell their house to the grosses or grosses. In July, the grosses paid the purchase price and received a deed to the house and the keys. After July, their contract was considered what? A, void. B, implied. C, liquidated. D, executed. Okay, so the clients accepted an offer to sell their house. In July, the grosses paid the purchase price and received a deed to the house. So the prior question we just did shows what the answer for this is, right? So type your answer in the chat. Okay, Noemi. All right. So you were the one on Facebook. Yes. So anybody who is on here and is on Facebook, remember to go to, okay, I see another person, StreamYard.com/Facebook. Okay. Oh, I misspelled it. Hold on. It's StreamYard.com/Facebook. StreamYard.com, and give StreamYard permission to post your name on Facebook from Facebook. Okay, Facebook has to give permission in order to post your name on here on StreamYard and on YouTube. In case you are on Facebook, your name will show up like this. Once you go to this website, StreamYard.com/Facebook, we'll be able to see your name like Sonia here. Okay. And Rachel and Noemi. So do that. Go to facebook.com, StreamYard.com/Facebook and give them permission, and I'll be able to see your name. Because I'm not sure at this point who it is. All right, that just posted a new answer. It's not showing me. Okay, so the answer on 77, what do you think it is? Okay. It gave us the answer on question 76, or I mentioned it. Post your answer in the chat. Question number and the letter answer. Okay, the answer is, I had D. Yes, it is executed, right? So now it has closed. It is no longer pending. It is no longer executory. It is executed. So you might ask, well, Lillie, how come on a contract, when we write a contract, the contract has to be executed? That means everyone has already signed and been informed, and the last realtor to get the document executes it by putting the date. Now we get to send it to the title company or to an escrow officer, which could be an attorney. Well, that is in the contract phase. Okay. So after the contract closes, then it's called executed. And so that is different. When the transaction closes, it's called executed. But when the contract is signed by everybody and the date is put on there, then it's called executed. The contract was executed, however, not the sale and purchase. The sale and purchase is considered executory until it closes. Okay. And it closes when seller and buyer go to the title company. They sign the documents. If it's a cash deal, then that's it. Buyer brings the money, and the monies are disbursed to the seller, to the realtors, to any liens that need to be paid. If it's with a loan, the lender has to go to underwriting. After they sign, the lender has to review it and approve it, and then releases the funds. Okay, so it's a little bit different. Okay, all right. So it was Gloria Gomez or Elizabeth Arzola who I saw the just Facebook. Okay, so these individuals need to go to StreamYard.com/Facebook. Okay, I repeat. Those of you who are on the private group in Facebook, go to that link, StreamYard. Gosh, I keep misspelling it. Hold on. You know, that's when the fingers are typing really fast. So StreamYard.com. I have to slow down, /Facebook. And then we'll be able to see your name like we do here with Sonia or even AgentPrep. Okay. So that's the correct link there. YouTube AgentPrep, you see StreamYard.com/Facebook. Okay, enough repetition of that. So 77 was D. All right, number 78. Thank you for your patience for everyone else, trying to bring everybody to, hey, we learn something new all the time. All right, number 78. These are national questions for anybody who just came in. National questions applies to all 50 states, anybody in the US. Okay, repair or remodeling of a property generally adds to its worth. So when you repair a property, it can add to its worth. Not exactly how much you invest, but it'll add to it, right? Repair or remodeling, especially remodeling. In recognition of the role contractors and suppliers play in increasing the value of a property, in many states, they are assured payment for their goods and services by being able to file a what? A declaratory judgment against the owner, B, list pendants against the title insurance company. C, a mechanic's lien against the property. Or D, registration with the new owner. So what needs to be submitted by a contractor when they're doing work, remodeling, repairs, and they don't get paid? They're given they're given up to, I think it said 75 days where they can, that's like their statute of limitation in order to file a mechanic's lien. And they give the owner, oops, I just gave you the answer. Ha, ha, ha. Oh, well, you know, what they say, shit happens. So the answer is mechanic's lien against the property, right? Mechanic's lien against the property. And that's how a contractor or, builder, supplier is going to get paid. Now, they have to follow certain processes to do that. And they have to give the owner a document that says, hey, if you don't pay me, I'm going to take you to court and put a lien on your property. And the day that you decide to pay it, you can't sell it. I mean, the day you decide to sell the property, you can't sell it until you pay me off. And I can or may not negotiate. Okay. All right. Number 79. Hopefully everybody understood that. Okay. And thank you for all of you who are here watching. And those of you on YouTube, hey, remember to tap that like button while you're on there and click that little bell and subscriber so that you're the first to hear about any uploads or videos. I'm going to be creating more videos, not just only classes. All right, 79. Alan is purchasing a duplex as an investment property. He would be most interested in knowing the appraised value based on the what? Okay, so Alan is purchasing a duplex as an investment property. So first of all, what kind of property is a duplex? Okay. He would be most interested in knowing the appraised value based on what? A, sales comparison approach. B, cost approach. C, gross rent multiplier. Or D, income capitalization. So if you have an investment property, right, you're having investment properties to make money, right, every month. So it's not just a primary residence that they're selling or buying. It's a duplex that's going to bring in money. So what would they look at? Okay, so far I have 79A, 79C. It is not A, Rachel. Take again. That's why I emphasized it's a duplex. It's an investment property. They're going to be making money from it. Okay, it's not a primary residence. So when you're going to be renting property, what do you want to know? What are the rents for somebody else, right? So what would that make it? The answer will be the gross rent multiplier. Awesome choice to change the answer. Very good. Hey, there's more of you on here. Come on and participate so that I can help you in case you don't get it right. So, you know, the gross rent multiplier is in the income approach, right? To determining value of residential properties, such as a single family homes and duplexes when they're used as investments to rent them out. All right, number 80, moving right along. The earnest money accompanying a purchase offer is what? Is generally 10% of the proposed purchase price. B, should be held in escrow by the seller. C, is mandated by state law. Or D, is not necessary to establish a valid contract. So what is the earnest money? Does it have to be cash? Can it be something else? Think about that and type your answer in the chat. And so far I have Okay, so who is this? Denise. Hi, Denise. Thank you for joining us. Remember to go to StreamYard.com/Facebook, Denise, and let's give StreamYard permission to post your name from Facebook on here on StreamYard, because that's what I'm using to stream to different places. All right, so far I have ADD, D, and C. Hey, we're not ADD, right? I don't like to use brand names or nicknames on myself, whether I'm ADHD or not. I don't like to use that. That's a label, right? We're an individual, we're a person. All right, number 80 is D. The offer is not necessary to establish a valid contract. So earnest money. It doesn't have to be money, okay? It could be a promissory note. It could be something else of value. It doesn't have to be money or cash. It has to be a consideration, some type of consideration. Hi, Elida. Thank you for joining us. In order to be a valid contract, not necessarily cash. Okay. All right. So the answer is 80D. 81. Moving right along. What law governs the relationship between a real estate licensee and a client? What governs? What makes a relationship between a real estate licensee and a client? A, law of agency. B, Clientele Act. C, statute of limitations. Or D, Deceptive Trade Practices Act. Okay, when we're doing some of these questions, we got to think of common sense. Pay attention to the words. Okay, law of what? Agency. We're agents, right? Clientele Act. I don't know if there's a Clientele Act, right? Statute of limitations. What a statute is? It's a legal law that limits something. Deceptive Trade Practices Act. So somebody is illegally advertising or trade what they do. So 81 so far, I've got AAA, and that is correct. 89, oops, 81A. Trying to see if the answers are coming up everywhere else. They are, but delayed. Wow, internet delays. Yeah, okay, the answers are showing up. So 81A, very good. Number 82. Okay, I got to minimize the screen. It's a little bit longer question. All right, there we go. And let me move it a little bit to the right. Have to take this off the screen. All right, number 82. Each resident broker must maintain a fixed office within Texas. What must a broker do when he or she maintains a multiple offices? A, register each office location with the county clerk where the assumed name form is filed. B, register each office location with the licensing department of the Texas Real Estate Commission. You know what? National just ended at number 80 because I was going to say, wait a minute, things have changed in Texas. So we just finished, let's see, that was exam number 3 on national. Starting 81 to 110 becomes state questions. So we're going to go to exam number 4 now and continue more national questions. So 2. Okay, so see how the answers are explained? It's really good. Love that book for that. Okay, so okay, 235. That's still exam number 3, 245. Okay, exam number 4, starting out with question number 1. The first 80 questions are national. Hey, you guys are supposed to keep me alert here. So that was good that you got a state question correct, but we're continuing on with additional national questions, okay? Let's see, 260. Hold on, something wrong here. Exam number 4. All right. Sorry about that, you guys. Well, I'm glad I woke up. I'm like, All right, Texas real estate sales exam number 4, but these are national questions. Anybody that's here from another state, this applies to you. So you can buy a book like from Arizona, Minnesota, New York, Florida, California, and they will all have a national section. That national section is the same for everybody, for all 50 states. But for your particular state, then you go to the state questions. And after the national, we will do Texas state, because so far I've only been doing Texas state questions. I hope to do more of other states later. Okay, number 1, exam number 4. Which of the following would most likely be considered real estate? A, mulberry bush, B, cotton ready to be harvested, C, farm equipment, or D, implements. So which would most likely be considered real estate? So definitions, right? When it comes to implements. It is not D, because implements is the crop that the farmer is going to harvest. So that crop doesn't go with the land. That goes with the owner. It goes with the owner of the crop, which is the farmer. Okay, so take another attempt. That was, who was that? Let's see, Rachel. It's not D. So take another attempt. And Elida, it is not D. So implement. So what does that tell you? You still need to learn some more vocabulary, because implements are the crops on the surface of the land that belongs to the farmer. So the answer is 1A. All right, so let me type on here exam number 4. Very good for those of you. Awesome. Okay, exam number 4, 1A. Awesome. And they're not showing up on the business page. So let's see here. 1 is A, which is the mulberry bush, right? Because the mulberry bush is buried into the land. So it goes with the land. Now, the owner could say to a borrower, I want to keep my mulberry bush, so I'm going to remove it. Are you okay with that? Borrower says, no, man, that goes with the land. I want the mulberry bush. Well, the owner says, okay, so I'm going to remove it and I'm going to put something else there. Because let's say it's an emotional thing. Let's say sometimes individuals plant a tree above someone that passed away or their animal, and they want to keep it. It has to be replaced, okay, because it's part of the land. It goes with the land. Got it? Got it? Got it. Y'all can type got it. Okay, so it was 1A. All right, number 2. If a borrower wishes to obtain an FHA or VA loan, he or she would most likely go to whom? A, HUD, Housing, Urban and Development, B, an insurance company, C, the Department of Veterans Affairs, or D, an approved mortgage lender. Got it. Very good. Type your answer in the chatty chat. Hey, and those of you who are on YouTube watching, hey, go down and click that thumbs up button for me if you find this valuable, which I know it's going to help you to pass when you practice. Repeat, right? All right, so far I've got D. Anybody else? Quite a few of you on here. Thank you for hitting those thumbs up, okay? Keep them coming. And also on Facebook, wherever you're watching, click that thumbs up or like button. All right, D. More, there's more of you on here. Go ahead, type your answer, D. Okay, remember y'all to type the question number, so it would be 2 and then the letter D. Hey, Sonia, thank you. All right, the answer is D. FHA and VA do not lend their own funds. Okay, the loans. So you typically VA guarantees, 100% of the loan, so that military individuals don't have to contribute towards the purchase of a home. Now they can. It doesn't mean that they can't. So they don't have to. But if they don't, then that means that the seller has to help them with their closing costs. Right? And closing costs can be quite spendy, because closing costs include a year of a homeowner's insurance, the survey, the home inspection, and any other kind of inspections. Okay, the appraisal, and part of the property taxes. Okay, that the lender is going to keep a little escrow account, a little savings account to pay the property taxes, and the homeowners insurance every year, because what? They want to protect their property by having homeowners insurance of a certain value. And then they're also going to pay if there's any origination points, if there's any other kinds of points. So, I mean, gosh, it can go to 5,000, 7,000, 10,000, a lot. You put A2. Hey, thanks for watching that, Sonia. 2A. All right. Thank you. Let me go and correct this over here on Facebook. Oh, okay. So on it showed up on Facebook and YouTube. Awesome. Thank you. I did. Where did I put A2? I see 2A. Okay, I don't know where I did that, but thanks. You put it A for 2. Okay. I don't see it, but that's okay. All right, number. Oh, I see. I'm sorry. It is 2D. Gosh, I don't know why I'm not thinking. The answer is 2D, right? I said the right answer. It's an approved mortgage lender. And it can be in a bank. And so they're an approved mortgage lender. So excuse me for that. Thank you for correcting me. 2D. All wired. Okay. I've been listening. So let me see if I can correct this here. I learned from another student how I can correct an answer. Let's see here, 2D on Facebook, right? I was all confused. I didn't realize I could correct an answer after I type it. So it is 2D. All right. Okay. All right. Number 3. When a buyer hires a brokerage, he or she will execute what type of an agreement? Okay, when a buyer hires a brokerage, they will execute what type of an agreement? A commission agreement, B, a showing agreement, C, a buyer representation agreement, or D, a sales contract? Yes. All right. I'll be more careful. Focus, focus, focus. Right? I got to focus, focus, focus on what I'm doing. Well, I'm only looking at 4 different monitors, okay? Okay, so what is it? What is signed between a buyer and a broker when they want to be represented and create an agency relationship? Yes, it is C, a buyer's representation agreement. Awesome. Y'all are more awake than me. Very good. All right, number 4. Now, don't cheat, okay? The next question uses the word escheat. No cheating, all right? All right. Escheat results if a property owner dies. Sorry about that. So A, with a will, B, with heirs, C, without a will, or D, without heirs. What's the definition for escheat? Vocabulary, vocabulary, vocabulary. Here we go again. I repeat it every session. Repeat, repeat, repeat. Practice vocabulary, practice vocabulary. Okay? That's what I did when I was studying for my exam in 2014. And then I took it also in 2001 in Oregon, and then in 2005 in Michigan. So I would study all the questions several times until I scored 100% correct. And I would study the vocabulary. So I'm only sharing with you what I have also done because I have had to take the exams. So escheat, when an owner dies without heirs. Okay. So if they don't have heirs, they don't have a will, right? Then it goes to the state. And the state decides, where it's going. So even if they have, a will and let's say they didn't have any heirs and they didn't leave it to anybody else, then it is escheat. They're not being cheated. Like somebody could verbally said, hey, well, Mr. So-and-so said that when they pass away, I'm going to get the property, or Joe and Mary are going to get 50% each. Well, did they put it in writing? No. So there was no will to specify that once they die and they don't have any heirs, it's going to go to somebody else. So it goes to the government. It goes to the state. That is escheat. And they're saying, well, we were cheated out of getting that property. We were told we were going to get it. Well, unfortunately, if the owner dies without directing the disposition of real property, the state becomes the owner, therefore under escheat. Title passes to the state. Okay? Know your vocabulary. All right, number 5. Okay, so we started with 75, 76. Okay, so we're going to go all the way to number 10. All right. Any questions? Did y'all understand that? So without a will, right, is intestate. So a student reminded me that the way they remember is within, without. Within, in. They take the word in to state, and it's without a will. That's how they remembered it. Number 5, when a buyer makes an offer and a seller changes a few of the terms before he signs and returns it, that is what? That is A, rejection, B, conditional acceptance, C, conditional rejection, or D, counteroffer. So I made you an offer, okay? And you change some of the terms and send it back to me. So after you change the terms, then you sign it. So that is what? Definitions again. Or vocabulary. Okay, so far I have 5D and 5D. All right, we're on a roll. Oh my gosh. I just noticed I put a percentage sign instead of, oh, I did it again. Yes, the answer is 5D. The offer, whenever an offer is changed at all, it becomes a rejection. So it goes into what is called also novation. It is now a new offer, but it's called a counter offer. The offeree is not obligated to accept this new offer. It's called a counter offer. You might also see on the exam that said, okay, when an offer is countered and the seller or the buyer changes something, what is it called? It's novation. It's a new offer. They may only have changed one thing, but it's considered new. The prior offer, the majority is valid. However, one thing changed, so it's new. So the answer with 5D. No, it is not, Elida, a conditional acceptance. Okay, there is no condition to accept. The seller countered, and the buyer doesn't have to accept. They either do or they don't. Okay, so it's 5D. Do you get that, Elida? A conditional situation would be when the buyer makes an offer on the condition that they have to do inspections. That today is called the option period. That is a conditional offer, but it's called they have an option period, and they can terminate after the option period expires if they're not happy with the inspections or whatever due diligence they do. And the seller keeps the option fee, but gets the earnest money back only when they let the seller know and terminate it prior to 5 p.m. in the state of Texas. Okay, it might be a different time in another state, but what most offices close at 5, so that's why they do by 5 p.m. Our old contracts used to say by midnight. Well, who the heck is awake at midnight to notify? Title company isn't, the other people may not be, the lenders are not. You know, that's when they would say, oh, we as realtors, we work 24/7. We're always available. Well, if we are, man, we're going to go crazy. We're going to go insane, right? Because we've got to rest to be able to do the best that we can for them. All right, number 6. Okay, so I don't see any questions. Nope. All right. So the term taking back paper. Okay, I'm giving a house and I'm taking back paper. What does that mean? A, seller financing. B, a purchase money mortgage. C, a wraparound mortgage. Or D, a third-party financing. So somebody is selling a house and they're taking back paper, which could be called a promissory note. Okay, so what is the term referred to when doing a taking back paper? And who is taking back the paper? The seller, right? You're welcome, Ellie. The seller is taking back paper. They're selling a property and they're saying, well, I don't require a mortgage, so I'll be the lender. Okay, so they're going to provide seller financing. Okay, they're taking back paper. That is called seller financing, owner financing. All right. So in this case, the seller might say, hey, I want a down payment of $20,000, $25,000. And then the seller may take a note, a promissory note for part of the purchase price. This is called the taking back paper. He's taking back a promissory note. Now, if the owner can be a seller financing, but yet is going to get paid monthly, but will not convey the title, that's called a land contract. That's also seller financing, but it's a land contract. On this one, there's a promissory note, so the seller is actually the lender. So 6 was A. All right, number 7. So here we come with the EE and the OR. All right, the vendee has A, equitable title in the property, B, an obligation to sell the property, C, temporary title to the property, or D, no obligation to the seller. So the vendee, so what's the EE and the OR? The EE is the giver, the OR is the receiver, right? Yes. Giver is the, giver is the owner, the landlord, okay? The vendor. Vendee is the receiver, receive, EE. All right, so far I have 7C. It is not C. Take another attempt at it. So the vendee, okay, it's going to be like the buyer. The vendor is the owner, the seller, even though it ends in OR, vendor ends in ER, right? So I have CAD. Okay, we're all over the place. Okay, the correct answer here is they have A, equitable title in the property. Okay, so the vendee has possession and use of the property. And so they're owning the property. Okay, it's not an obligation to sell, right? A vendee receives, they don't sell. The seller, the vendor, is the one that is selling. It's not a temporary title to the property. And D, that there is no obligation to the seller. No, they had to pay, right? When you go to a flea market and there's a vendor, you get a product in exchange for what? Money, or a promissory note to pay them later. Or you exchange with product, with something else. So that vendee has equitable title in the property, the right to use and possess that property. So they had to pay the owner one way, through a loan or a promissory note, or exchange another property. Okay, so the answer here is 7A, equitable title. Very good, Rachel and Elida. So they have equity, right? Equitable is an interest in acquiring legal title. So equitable is they have the right to possess and to use and other things. So they have an interest, okay, in acquiring a legal title when the seller conveys the title. Legal title will not be attained until the buyer has actually purchased the property. Okay, so until the buyer the vendee has paid for it, then it will convey. So then it'll go into their name. So it says the vendee, right? They're not the owner yet. All right, number 8. Okay, any questions? Let me look at the other screens. No questions. Nope, no questions. All right. A meets and bounds survey. Oops. Okay. A meets and bounds survey begins at the point of beginning and ends at the what? A, point of beginning. B, end point. C, monument. Or D, last benchmark. So meets and bounds. What? It goes with a survey, right? So when you start, when the engineer, survey engineer is surveying a property, right? They're starting at one point. And they've got to measure the whole property and go all the way around it until they come to what? Is it a point of beginning, an end point, a monument, or a last benchmark? It's like electricity, right? It goes around the whole house. It has a starting point. Everybody is answering A. That's awesome. And it goes back to the point of beginning. The end point might be somewhere else, okay? But in order for a survey to be completed on that one particular piece of property, okay, the piece of property could have curves on it, could just be rectangular with 4 sides, so it has 4 corners. You start in one point, you go all the way around and come back to the point of beginning. Okay, and they do put landmarks, okay, benchmarks, which could be a metal stake or wooden stake or flags. Those are, they call them monuments, right? So very good. 8A is the answer. Awesome. Hi, Terry. Thanks for joining the group, the class. We're doing national questions for anyone who just came in. We've got a couple more national questions, and then we'll be moving over to state question, Texas state questions. Oh my goodness, I put 45,000 instead of 450. All right, number 9. Will that fit on one page? Let's see here. Yes. No. 425. All right. Let me take this off the screen. All right, there we go. And if I put me in the picture, you still see it. Oh, but you don't see it from the top. Okay, I need to minimize it some more. Okay, there we go. 9, Title 8 of the Civil Rights Act of 1968, known as the Fair Housing Act of 1968, included which of the following protected classes? So this is in 1968. What did it include? The Fair Housing Act, which is part of the Civil Rights Act in 1968. A, color, race, national origin, religion, and handicap. B, color, race, religion, and national origin. C, race, national origin, religion, and sex. Or D, color, race, national origin, and familial status. So what did it include in 1968? So that's the Housing and, Community Development Act. Oh, sorry, not yet. Okay, so far I have A. Take another attempt. When it first started, it had fewer protected classes. Then they kept adding more and adding more. Okay. So A has 5, color, race, national origin, religion, handicap. It's not A. Then B has color, race, religion, national origin, which is 4 of them. C has 4 of them. And D has 2, 3, 4, has all 5 of them. Okay. So it is not A nor D. So that leaves us with B or C. And we have B. Oh, I forgot to enter the answer for 8A. Sorry, here. So you're going to see the answer for 8A. So disregard that. Okay. That was for the previous question. Okay, so question number 9, the answer is B, color, race, religion, national origin, right? Because it came to protect the blacks. So color, race, religion, national origin are the first 4, okay, in 1968. So Title 8 of the Civil Rights Act, known as the Fair Housing Act of 68, included color, race, religion, national origin. So the answer says the Housing and Community Development Act of 1974 then added sex. And then in 1988, Fair Housing Act added handicap and familial status. So there are 7 classes that are protected, right? So the last 2 that were added were handicap and familial status. So that's family with children, right? Under 18 years old. It can be a single person or a couple. And then, prior to that, it was handicap. And then prior to that, in 1974, was sex. So the first 4, color, race, religion, national origin. Very good. Oh, gosh. 9B. So say alert in case I type something wrong, okay? Because I may say something and then type something else like I did a little bit earlier. Okay, number 10. So this is the last national question for this class. It'll be, 15 questions. So an income approach appraisal would include which of the following information? So income approach appraisal. Okay, there's 3 different types of appraisal, 3 different types, right? So an income approach appraisal will include which of the following? A, annual net operating income generated. B, sold comparables within the same market area. C, replacement cost of structure and site improvements. Or D, building value based on cost per square foot. Okay, so income. Which of the answers talks about making money? Because when you know all 3 ways, comparable, CMA, right? Sold comparables, okay? Cost approach and income approach. Those are the 3, right? Income approach, cost approach, and sold comparables, CMA. So the answer, yes, is A, annual net operating income generated. Okay, income approach, net operating income. None of the other ones talk about income. So that should tell you question A is the answer. Income, income, income. And you'll want to get into investments once you become having extra money. After growing your business and you have extra money to invest, you want to have income because it's another write-off. Being a realtor has lots of benefits for write-offs. Okay, you can write off a lot of things. And then being a YouTuber and having your own brand name, I learned today, then you can deduct almost everything. Your car, okay, your house, your clothing. Because as a normal realtor, if it doesn't have our brand name on it, we can't deduct it. Once we put a label on it, our brand, so branding yourself is one of the most important things or the most important thing to do when you get going. So 10A, very good. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Everybody got that one right. Okay, I'm going to put a little bit of music so that I can take a bathroom break before we go into the Texas state questions. We're starting a new book. Go ahead and get up, stretch, and drink some water, and we will be back. This is the next book that I bought today. All right. So welcome back. We're going to get back to YouTube Agent Prep, helping you prepare for your national and state. So we just did national questions, and now we're shifting to Texas state questions. So shift your head, thinking pat for state questions, okay? So this is the book that I bought. It also has questions. Hold on, let me put the music on. Okay, so somebody said you need a video on how to brand. Yes, I'll be doing those types of videos, okay, on this channel a little bit at a time. So that's why I now call it YouTube Agent Prep, which is for students passing the real estate exam, preparing for that, and then also for growing your business and learning what to do for your business and not spending a lot of money when you get started. And so I will do one of those later. Is anyone else on the Champion School of Real Estate? I just started. Okay, Naomi. Champion School is an awesome school, and it's a little bit more expensive. I think it's $180 per class versus doing it online. And they have a prep course that you can go to for the weekend. However, they do go really fast when you do the prep. And I used to buy the Champion books every year, this time here. However, I don't use them anymore. It doesn't have the vocabulary. So this book has a little bit about, knowing the requirements for your real estate, about the exam, how to apply, when you finally pass all your exams, how to apply to it. And it has the link on here, right? You can go to track for those of you that are in Texas. And then, how you get your exam results. Your score will be given to you immediately after finishing the exam. And the one thing that I will stress, okay, is when you go to the exam, skip the first 5 questions, okay? And so, hold on. So skip the first 5 questions and the math. Reason being is I've read that the first 5 questions are the hardest. They'll get you nervous, get you anxious, get your mind off stuff. So skip those so that you don't get stressed and nervous at the beginning of the exam. And go to all the easy questions that you're going to know. Go through those a lot quicker. Once you're done with each of your questions, and come back and do the 5 hard questions and the math, you will pass. Okay? Awesome. And let's see, somebody else posted it on here. Yes, I did my Appraisal online with Champion and did very well on the courses and exams. Awesome. Did you make 100 on each of the exams? And that's what I did to feel better. And I still felt nervous. Okay? And so you want to study questions, and the exams are harder than you're actually doing the book. So you want to make sure that that you score 100% on the practice questions. Not just 70, that's what you're expected to get on the exam. Well, if you score 70 at your home exam and do these books, that's not enough to go get a 70 on the actual exam because they're harder and you're using questions that you've never seen before. All right. State fortune for Texas, number 1. How many members are there on the Texas Real Estate Commission? Correct. That's the acronym, right? A, 9, B, 3, C, 6, or D, 7. So type your answer in the chat. Exam number 1A. I'm sorry, exam number 1. Okay, not didn't mean to say A. I just said question. Okay, but yes, okay, I already said it. It is A. How many members are there on the Texas Real Estate commission, 9. Okay? There are 9 members, 6 are real estate brokers, and 3 are members of the public, which the governor appoints, right? So correct, select the 6 and the rest. So you type the answer in the study chat. One, okay. So this is test 1, question 1.8. Okay, very good. Right, number 2. Let me see if I can make it work for you. Okay, there we go. Number 2. Let's see. My Lord Nick says, am I the only one that can hear you okay? I don't know. You're not coming out clear. That could be, you know, yeah, an issue with my internet. Okay, even though I have a high-speed internet, a lot of people are on the internet now, right? Um, what's called at the, yeah, the internet is slow. So, not a whole lot I can see. And hopefully it'll come up and it'll like little stuff like this, make it a little bit louder. However, if it's spotty, it says I'm not coming out clear. So you're talking about my voice is not coming out clear or the screen is not coming out clear. Because if it's the screen, it says you are in. Okay? You have to adjust the resolution to 720. There's a way to do that with myself. Well, let me let's see. Can anybody hear me already? But no, you're not the only one here. Okay, so what's going on? Setting. I'm troubleshooting it. Notifications. That's the flow of my end. Real estate, notifications, speaker, and I'm going to improve upon the communication. So let's see if this will do it. Okay, anytime I did the enhanced audio. To allow apps and users to use this device. You hear that? I'm testing my speakers and they're working. All right, so if not, we'll have to read them. Okay, so Texas requires a salesperson to blank if they wish to sell their personal real estate stake. They are not allowed to sell their own real estate to get approval from the press from press at the real estate commission or to disclose in writing their intent to sell their own property or to they do not have to do anything. So what is the correct answer here? I had it didn't work. You take the hand copy off. Mhm. You off. And put the I don't know what else to do. Here. I've increased the volume to the max. I took out the intent. So let's see if that happens. Okay, so the answer is what does everybody know, right? Not if I did not, but it's got to do with the okay, number three. How much can a how much can a licensed salesperson pay a customer who becomes a buyer to that salesperson? A, sales fee, a flat fee of no higher than 500. C, the customer and salesperson can negotiate payment. Or D, the salesperson cannot pay an unlicensed customer. So how much can a licensed salesperson pay a customer who refers a buyer to that salesperson? There is an amount, okay, however, so far I've got three, and that is correct. Salesperson cannot pay an unlicensed customer. So the key word here is pay. You cannot pay a customer or a referral that's not a licensed customer who can pay $50 yes, okay? Don't pay and get dollars on a department card. Okay, so I went out and came back in. So we still can't hear. Buffering, I totally can't hear and understand what you're saying. Yes, so I went out and came back in to see if that worked. So somebody let me know if it does, if you do hear me now. Can you hear me? Okay, can anybody hear me? I see the sad face. I'm so sorry. Can anybody hear me? Oh, awesome, awesome, awesome. Okay, we're back on. Okay, very good. Okay, I need to share the screen. Persistence pays. I know it took a little while. So anybody who's watching the replay, just speed on forward. Okay, very good. Awesome. All right, number 5. So I'm sorry. So number 3 was a salesperson cannot pay an unlicensed customer. The key word is pay. All right. We can gift $50 as a department store card, but not cash, and we don't pay them. Okay. Customer is not hiring us. We can gift somebody who refers somebody. Okay. You see, it says refers. So we can provide a $50 gift. That's the difference. Gift versus pay. Okay. Got it? All right. Number 4. So I think I had already typed the answer. 3D. Maybe not. So the answer was 3D, right? All this is buffering. Yeah. Okay. Number 4. What does the acronym MUD mean? A, mortgage under duress. B, municipal utility district. C, municipal under default. Or D, none of the above. What does MUD stand for? Mud, right? When it rains and the dirt gets wet, we've got mud. However, in real estate, what does it mean? So far, I've got 4B. Anybody else? Yes, the answer is 4B, a municipal utility district. That's what MUD stands for. Not the mud that we step on when it rains and we go outside and play like I used to. No, it is not mortgage under duress. No, no, no. Municipal utility district. Again, I stress vocabulary. Go learn your vocabulary. Whenever you miss a question due to an acronym or the definition, that means you need to go back and study some more vocabulary. Number 5. Texas requires earnest money to be deposited into a trust account within how many days? Blank days. A, 10 business days. B, 3 business days. C, 2 business days. Or D, 1 business day. Type your correct answer in the chatty chat. So how many days does the contract state that earnest money has to be deposited into a trust account within how many days? Okay, so far I have 5B from Rachel, which is 3 business days. Anybody else? Going once. Going twice. Da-da, 1, 2, and 3. Gone. No, it is not D. The contract that was released April of 2021 says 3 business days. Okay. If they're depositing money, if it's some other type of consideration, or if it's a promissory note, it's got to specify when that will be delivered. Okie dokie. Number 6. Ooh, that didn't work. Let's see. Yeah, there we go. Number 6. Good, good, very good. 5B. How long is the option period for real estate transactions conducted in Texas? Is it definite or is it negotiable? So A, the option period is negotiable. B, 48 hours. C, 10 days. D, 7 days. You're probably going to hear all of the above. But which one is the correct answer? The option period is negotiable. Okay, that's when you do the inspections, right? The buyer does their due diligence. It becomes a unilateral contract during the option period. Okay, so far I have A. You're so awesome, Rachel. Thank you for participating. Anybody else? The answer is 6A. The option period is negotiable. It could be 0 days. They may not request an option period because they don't want to do inspections. Or it could be 48 hours. It could be 7 days, 10 days. But it's normally going to be in days. Okay. And but it is negotiable between the seller and the buyer. The buyer says, hey, I want 10 days option period. The seller can either accept, reject, counter, or do nothing. If they do nothing, that means they didn't like the offer. Okay. Oh, you're welcome, Rachel. I love doing this, actually. All right. I really do. As I mentioned, I've been doing it for over 8 years. It'll be 9 years by the end of this year or by January. And I've never charged for doing this. One student insisted, but he wanted me for a whole week for several hours. Okay, so I did charge, but that's not what I do. Okay, I can reach more students by doing it this way. All right, number 7. So number 6 was A. Okay. What is the penalty for participating in real estate transactions without a license? So somebody does real estate without a license and they're practicing real estate and getting paid by someone. They're representing someone. Okay. They're doing it on the behalf of somebody else. Then what is the penalty? A, administrative penalty. B, a complaint from TREC. C, cease and desist. Or D, all of the above. Type your answer in the chatty chat. Okay, you guys, I'm going to go back to number 5. I just went and looked at the answers. And number 5, according to the answer on here, says 2 business days. However, our contract states within 3 business days. But this one, so I'm going to go back, okay? Because I'm going to have to correct the, go back. And so Texas requires earnest money to be deposited. Okay, but the answer here says TREC requires earnest money to be deposited within 2 business days of receiving the money. So that is in the contract that we have up to 3 business days, but the answer according to this book says 2 business days. I still say it is 3, okay, because that's what our contract says, but it can be delivered in 2 business days, all right, anytime within 3 business days. So if anybody buys this book, the book says 2 business days. All right, so number 7. So sometimes books are incorrect, okay? Some of them do make mistakes, just like teachers or tutors or realtors. So type your answer for 7. Okay, I've got 7A, 7D. Well, several of those answers are correct. What is the penalty for participating in real estate transactions without a license? Penalty could be somebody complains, or there's an administrative penalty by TREC, or there's a cease and desist, means they cancel, terminate the license, and they can't do any more real estate. So the exact answer is D, all of the above. So if you answered A, B, and C, yes, they're correct. But all 3 of the above, okay, are accurate. All right, number 8. So it comes down to which one is the best answer. The best answer is that all of the above are penalties. Ooh, that didn't work. So let me make it a little bit smaller. Darn it. Okay, number 8. How long does a broker need to keep real estate and financial documents in the state of Texas? Okay, we're talking about Texas. A, 3 years, B, 4 years, C, 5 years, or D, 7 years. They're all odd numbers except for 1. So which one do you think is correct? Yesenia, hi Yesenia. Yesenia says B. B, so does Rachel. Y'all on a roll. Rolling, rolling, rolling. Keep it coming, coming, rolling. And the answer is B, 4 years. So in the old days, okay, I've been a realtor for a long time. So I used to have to save boxes and boxes of paper files for 6 years when I was in Texas, and 4 years here. I'm sorry, when I was in Oregon, and 4 years here in Texas. So in Texas, we keep them 4 years. In other states, it could be longer or it could be less. And that's because they could audit us or somebody could complain. And so they say, keep notes, okay? All right, number 9. Okay, I corrected the answer for number 8, but it still shows like a bling. Okay, very good, y'all. Hey, so what do y'all think? Can I have a margarita after this? It's been a long 3 days of lots of learning. Oops. Oh, wow. Oh, what the heck happened? Oh, it shut me down. Hey, I accidentally closed the program. Bear with me. Disregard that screen, okay? That was from the national. So I'm restarting Kindle because that's the app that I'm using because I purchased it on Kindle through Amazon. Now Kindle doesn't want to start. Oh, it's starting. Okay, Kindle is coming. It's just taking a little bit of time. Oh. Okay, come on, Kindle. And Kindle is a great way to read books, okay, and study. And Audible, right? You can read, I learned from this jump rope veteran. He reads a book a day. And how do you think he does that? He doesn't literally read the book, okay? Doesn't literally read the book. I use these composition as my things to do and for different topics. Okay, I keep track of everything I do. And red, of course, my favorite colors. That's my main colors. You can see red and black, right? And so anyway, he reads a book a day. Let's see, what page is this? Stay on 23. By doing it with Audible and Kindle. And so then he able to succeed that by, hold on here. Oh, okay, I need to go. Oh, come on, book. It's operator error. Okay, it's me who's screwing up. Not the computer. And the fact that the internet is really slow. So anyway, while we do this, when does somebody take their exam next? Type it in the chat when you're taking your exam and whether you've passed national or state. Gosh. Okay. Come on, type it in the chat. So we're on test number 1, state. Okay. Nobody's typing it on the chat. All right. Well, I hope you're planning to take it soon. The longer you wait, the tougher it gets, the more you forget. Okay. So if you take your exam and you don't pass, take it again as soon as possible because the information that you've been studying is fresh in your mind. All right, number 9. According to the Texas property tax exemptions, okay, a family can have one homestead of up to blank in a rural area in the state of Texas. Is it A, 100 acres, B, 150 acres, C, 200 acres, or D, 50 acres? Okay, I got back up and running. So according to Texas property tax exemptions, we can get lower taxes, okay, by having a homestead and applying for it. The homestead is automatic. However, we have to go to the county tax assessor and, apply it for it. Tell them that, hey, this is our homestead. A family can have what? A, 100 acres, B, 150 acres, C, 200 acres, or D, 50 acres. So a family. So that could be a married couple, husband and wife. So the key word here is family. It doesn't say a single person. It says family. So 100 acres is for a single person. So what would it be for a family, a couple, a married couple? There's a maximum. If they have 500 acres, they can only take a tax exemption on up to 200 acres. Okay, the correct answer here is 200 acres. Very good, Yesenia. Awesome. Okay, 200 acres. If it's an individual, it's 100 acres. So if they have a farm that is, 300, 400, 500, they can only get the tax exemption on the property taxes, reduce the property tax value by reducing the value, the market value of the property. Gosh. I'm going to have to go really small here. Okay, number 10. No, I selected the round. Oh, okay. I do that too, like I did earlier today, right? Okay, number 10. How many hours of core real estate classes does a licensee need to complete to renew their license? So core, required hours. And this is to renew. It says every 2 years. So every 2 years, how many hours do we as Texas Realtors have to take, or brokers? Type your answer in the chat. My kitty cats want to go out. I love kitty cats. I love animals. Okay, that's one of my passions is animals, critters. Sometimes I love animals more than I do people. All right, type your answer in the chat. Okay, I've got one person so far. Come on, more of you, type the answer. And the answer is A, 18 hours. Very good. All righto. Number 11. So the blank allows a buyer to terminate a contract and collect the earnest money if the lender determines the property fails to satisfy the underwriting requirements. So what is that blank that allows a buyer to terminate a contract and collect the earnest money when the lender determines the property fails to satisfy the underwriting requirement? Not the buyer, but the property. A, Texas Real Estate Commission. B, third-party financing addendum. C, Texas property tax exemptions. Or D, none of the above. So what, it'll be a document, okay? So what document is it? Okay, go outside. My kitty cats start acting like little children. They want attention when I'm busy. All right, so far I have, oh, nobody's typed an answer for 11. And Ellie, no, number 10 was not C. It's delayed reaction. Okay, so which document allows a buyer to terminate the contract, okay, because the property doesn't qualify based on the lender's underwriting requirements? Well, maybe all of you also are having internet issues, being a little bit slow. Well, the answer is 11B, third-party financing. Okay. No, it is not none of the above. Okay. Whenever there's a lender, there is a third-party financing addendum that goes as part of the contract. It is part of the contract. It is an addendum, not an amendment. Okay. It's part of the addendum. All these addendums are towards the end of the contract. There's a whole bunch of them, right? One, it could be the seller lease back option, a buyer lease option, HOA, mandatory, lead-based paint. All these are addendums. There's more than that, okay? However, I just mentioned a few. Okay, number 12. What is an ad valorem tax? Ad valorem tax, Latin. A, tax based on the assessed value of the property. B, local taxes based on income. C, property taxes based on age. Or D, property taxes based on the number of dependents. So when, oh, well, vocabulary again, vocabulary, vocabulary, vocabulary. Vocabulary, okay? Woohoo! Vocabulary, right? What is ad valorem tax? Type your answer in the chat. Okay, so far I have Yesenia says A. Hey, hey. A is for ad, A is for apple. And A is for assessed value of the property. A, tax based on the assessed value of the property. That's different. The assessed value is different than from the market value, right? The assessed value is from the county and they have their own formula that they follow, okay? Extrapolation that they use to determine what the tax value of that property is in today, and those property taxes keep increasing. So that's what an ad valorem tax is. It's a tax based on the assessed value, not the real market value. The real market value is the what a seller and a buyer agree to on a contract, and it closes. That is the current market value. Okay, that's when today's market value is determined. The CMA might say it's different value. However, if the seller wants a higher price, or if the seller agrees on a lower price, that becomes the real market value for today. It's the decision, the mutual agreement between a seller and a buyer, which is different from ad valorem. Okay, some states will show both the assessed value and the real market value. That real market value still is not what we as realtors or appraisers will come up with. Number 13. Any questions? No, nobody's asking questions. All right, how much errors and omissions insurance, E&O acronym, does the state of Texas require a real estate broker to have? A, E&O is not required. B, 500,000. C, 1 million. Or D, 750,000. So what is required if it is required? It's insurance, right? So are you required to have health insurance? Are you required to have auto insurance? Are you required to have homeowners insurance or any kind of insurance? So far, I have 12A from Elida. Thank you, Elida, for participating. Oh, no. You haven't answered. We're on number 13. And I was typing 12. Anybody? Come on. Type your answer in the chat box. Let me know what you know. If not, I'm moving on. Going once, going twice. Gone. It is E&O is not required. A. Okay, 13A. E&O is not required. However, brokers will provide E&O and the realtor will pay for it through every transaction until a certain cap. Some brokers may include it, may pay for it, but it'll cost them money also. Okay, so that was 13. All right, number 14. When should a buyer have the survey pulled and get a title insurance property by the seller? when should a buyer have the survey pulled, and get a title insurance property by the seller? A, prior to the execution of the purchase and sale contract. B, the buyer does not need to do either. C, within 20 days of the execution of the purchase and sale contract. Or D, within 10 days of the execution of the purchase and sale contract. So when should, so should is one of the key words, a buyer have the survey pulled and get a title insurance property by the seller? Shoulda, coulda, woulda. Okay, shoulda, coulda, woulda. You know, there's different days amount, okay, and they may not even get one. If they have a lender, if the buyer has a lender, there is going to be a requirement for survey and title insurance. Well, no, the buyer can request title insurance or maybe not. So anybody? No. Okay, challenging questions. Okay, the answer here is C. It says within 20 days of the execution of the purchase and sale contract is the title insurance property. And the buyer can have the seller provide the survey. So the survey can be ordered by the buyer, by the seller. The seller may already have one, or the title company can be directed to order, and they have a bunch of surveyor engineers that they use. And also the buyer would have to request a title insurance property at the time that the contract is being written. So here it says prior to the execution of the purchase and sale contract. So it says, when should the buyer have the survey pulled and get a title insurance property? Well, it's after a contract, okay? It's requested in the contract if they want it. If it's a cash deal, they don't have to have either. But if they've got a lender's going to require a survey, not necessarily a title insurance policy. They'll require a lender's insurance policy, okay? So it is not A, prior to execution. That's when they negotiate it and decide what they want. B, the buyer does not need to do either. If it's a cash deal, buyer doesn't have to do either, okay? They don't say whether it is a cash deal. C, within 20 days of the execution of the purchase and sale contract, okay, is the correct answer. 10 days is usually not enough. 10 days can be the option period. So after the option period, the title company will start running the title commitment, the title research, and they usually need 7 to 10 days, sometimes longer. Then the survey, then the appraisal happens if there's a lender. So the survey is the last thing that happens prior to the lender, the underwriting lender, approving everything. They have to see everything. The survey is the last thing. And that's depending on whether there's a contract, a lender or not. Lender's going to require the appraisal. Okay. The buyer is the one that requests the survey and the title insurance policy, but it's not required by the lender. Well, the lender may want a survey to make sure that they can provide the loan, but they'll notify them. Okay. So did I write the answer? No. So this question is iffy because buyer doesn't have to have a survey nor title insurance. It behooves them. It's for their benefit to ask for a title insurance policy to make sure that they're buying a property that is free and clear, that is fee simple, that they'll have all the bundles of rights, that has no clouds on title, that has no liens on it. That's why they get a title insurance policy. And in case the title company makes a mistake or the seller lied on an affidavit, then the title insurance will protect them. That's why we have insurance like health insurance, medical insurance, workman's comp insurance, auto insurance, homeowners insurance, right? It's to ensure that if something goes wrong, we'll be covered and we'll get some money back after the deductible if there is a deductible, okay? Number 15. So 14 was C. Which is not a layer of the Texas survey system? A, which is not a layer of the Texas survey system? A, Texas RRC district layer. B, Texas Bay Tracts layer. C, Land Coast layer. Or D, Texas Land Survey layer. Which one is not a layer of the Texas survey system? Wow, this is an interesting question, okay? However, one thing to look at here is, you know, what, and don't ask me right now what the RRC district is, because I don't recall what that is. Okay, so it depends where the individual lives, okay, land, Bay Tracts, RRC district, there's irrigation districts, there's land district, there's, you know, other jurisdiction districts. However, we only have so many coasts, right? We only have so many oceans and seas that border land and that people are going to live. I mean, we have more ocean and water than we do earth. However, not everybody's land borders water, okay? So the layer that the Texas survey that is not a layer is the Texas coast layer. Wow, I've never seen this question before. This is a new book. So number 15 is C, the Texas coast layer. I forgot to type 14. C and 15 C. Okay, so what is an RR residential R something district? Okay, so I'm going to Google it. Oh my gosh, I'm gonna, so next session we'll start with 16. So let's Google it. So I have to bring it onto this screen. So what is an RRC district in Texas survey layer? Let's see what it says. Oh, Railroad Commission, Railroad, RR, okay? Railroad Commission of Texas. So that's what the RRC stands for, Railroad Commission. So that's how we find answers really quick sometimes. If we don't know it, Google it, okay? So you see here, Railroad Commission, double R. See how slow the internet is? And I have high speed. Wow. Our world is getting more and more populated with more and more demand on the internet satellites, on phones. And so this issue is going to get even worse. All right. Okay, you all. So we just did national, 15 questions of national and 15 questions of Texas state questions. You can go back and replay this recording as it is recorded and saved on YouTube AgentPrep and on the Facebook AgentPrep private group and on the AgentPrep business group, okay, business page. So remember, y'all, to study vocabulary, lots and lots of vocabulary, because I saw many of you miss a lot of vocabulary questions today by selecting the wrong answer. And it takes repetition, repetition, repetition. Don't get tired of studying vocabulary, writing them down, do it together with somebody else, watching videos, listening to them, okay, while you're exercising, while you're cooking, while you're doing something else, while you're showering, okay? And I listen to a lot of things while I'm showering, while I'm in the bathroom, while I'm in, cooking, or anything else that I do while I exercise. I listen to Audible or other pep talks, okay, to learn. And questions, lots and lots of questions, national questions and answers, state questions and answers. Practice, 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 and repeat them until you get them all correct. Don't just stop at a 70% score or 80% score and say, hey, man, I've done good, man. I got me a 90. Well, that's not good enough, because the test is going to be harder, okay? The exams on the test day are going to be harder. So don't stop at a 70% when you're doing your practice exams at home or online or wherever you do them and you're listening to them. You've got to do this over and over and over. And when you start doing real estate, you better learn how to ask lots and lots of questions, right? The exams are asking you questions, and then it's going to be your turn asking the public, customers, prospects, lots and lots of questions, the clients, in order to determine how you can better help them find a solution to their problem or to their concern, or finding them the right property. All right. It takes a lot of work. Real estate is not necessarily easy. A large percentage of realtors do not survive 1 year, 2 years, sometimes not even 6 months. Okay. Their expectation of what real estate business is totally different as to what it really actually is when we're out there in the business. It is our own business. We're the boss of our business. Okay. And you have to understand, you're going to have ups and you're going to have downs. Okay. You're going to go up and you're going to have downs, and you're going to have months with lots of income, and you're going to have other months with no income, right? So we have to be lead generating, prospecting all the time, and letting everybody know what we do. Do not be a secret agent. All right. Don't hide. Okay. Don't be secret. Be open. Let everybody know once you have your license and you have a sponsor. Oh, and by the way, I am a realtor. I do practice real estate. Okay. I still have clients, not as many as before, but I still have clients. Okay. I've been doing this for over 12 years in 3 different markets. Okay. So, at a certain point, you might want to learn how to make money in other ways. Okay. So this is your business. You're the boss of you. Okay. And so you need to learn all the time. And don't be afraid to ask questions, because it is crucial to survive in this business and to continue learning and understanding and finding ways to network with other realtors, learn from other realtors, help other realtors, brokers, okay? And meet people from all over the world. That's what I'm doing, okay, as a realtor at EXP, okay? I moved to EXP during COVID. And so I am, because I can earn multiple streams of income, and we're a virtual company on the cloud, right? How did everybody go during COVID? On the cloud, right? Even all the students learning through Zoom or other apps. So get used to doing business on the cloud, except when you're out in front of the client, okay? And sometimes you may never have to be in front of the client, because some people buy properties sight unseen, and also investors. So when you pass your exams, what's the next step? Is you're going to be interviewing lots of brokers, lots of sponsors. Okay. Take a look at EXP. Contact me. Okay. Send me a DM and let's chat about EXP to see if it is a company that is a good fit for you. It may not be. Okay. You might end up being with a little boutique brokerage, or with one other person or 2 other persons. Okay. However, if you plan to make this a business and grow, you want to be with a leading company that's growing technology, training, and education, and that is going to pay you lots more money and help you keep more money. get stocks, and get multiple streams of income. So with that said, remember, I am a realtor with eXp Realty. This is Wild Lillie Handy coming to you from San Antonio, Texas, okay, with AgentPrep to help you pass your exams, okay, national and Texas state exam, and then also to help you get going with your business. So you all remember to tap that subscribe button, click that little bell so that you're notified, be the first one to hear from my videos that go on the cloud, right? Because that's what we're here on the cloud. And tap that like button, okay? Thumbs up. Let me know if you found this beneficial and if it's helping you to prepare for your real estate exams. So study some of the prep classes that I have for the exam day. Okay, test tips. Okay, go to the two main playlists on YouTube that you want to watch are those that I have 2020 vocabulary. Okay, and it's one of the playlists, and also the National and Texas Q&A playlist. There's another one that is just about Texas, another one that's just about national questions, and then another one that is 2020 playlist of everything that I do. Okay, so practice, 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 lots and lots of questions and vocabulary. Until next time, you can always text me, DM me. I do answer all the questions. I do reply to everybody. And so catch y'all later. Have a great evening. Love y'all. Bye. So next time is Saturday.